Indie games have been exploding in the last decade. With the coming of games like To the Moon, Undertale, and Night in the Woods, indie games are getting more attention than ever. One game that blew its Kickstarter away was Heartbound, surpassing its goal of $5,000 by almost 4 times. Heartbound is a role-playing game about a teenage boy, Lore, whom you play as, and his dog, Baron. The game is still in development, however, by a 3-man team at Pirate Software. Thor as game director and programmer, Shay as the lead artist, and Stijn as the composer and sound designer. Taking their talents and many experiences, they first created an hour demo for the game where fans proceeded to play 50 hours trying to find all its secrets and solving the ARG. With another chapter out and another environment explorable, fans are still enjoying the game and are involved in the community. One part some people have particularly enjoyed is the variety of music genres in the game that really get you dancing and toe-tapping. The music throughout Heartbound enforced the themes of forgiveness and time with friends in the first 2 adventure chapters, as well as Lore's relationship to the environment, especially in the tower and Animus, and characters within the game, such as Binder, Joe, and Circe. I will show this by going through the music in each chapter, taking a special look at some of the main themes within the different chapters, and comparing with the accompanying gameplay experience. To show his relationship to other characters, I'll also look at the character tracks and voices, and explain how the characters' personality is reflected and what that means for Lore. So to get started, I'll briefly mention what's currently known and released in the early access. There are going to be 5 chapters total. The first is located in Homeworld, the second, the Tower, third is Animus, fourth, in Niflheim and Muspelheim, depending on the character's choices so far, and the 5th one we know nothing about. Because this is a choice-driven game, the final products will have chapters 2 through 4 able to be played in whatever order the player chooses. The first 2 chapters are currently mostly done, and Animus is explorable now. Breaking down further, we can say almost every chapter has a theme. Homeworld is the introduction to the game, and World, so it's not really a theme. The Tower is about forgiveness, especially shown in the final boss fight, and Animus about friends and time. While Niflheim and Muspelheim are still unknown, as very little of its gameplay has been revealed. From the dev streams, Thor has said that it will have the most amount of fighting, so maybe it is about defending yourself. But that's a random thought. So let's jump into some of the music of the establishing chapter. So the first chapter starts with Lore adventuring with Baron, and after they go back to bed, he wakes up to find his room a mess, and then finds a Darksider monster called the Barghest. He is saved from the Barghest by a guardian called Binder, who tells him he'll need to collect the artifact in the trial between worlds. However, this proves to be a mistake, as the artifact is cognizant and transports Lore to the Dark World, where he meets the Barghest again to find that the Barghest is actually his beloved dog Baron, and thus that sadness begins. To start, the only sound we hear after the starting of the game, excluding the menu's theme, Overture, is lightning, wind, and text sounds of Lore, Baron, and Lore's dad. This is until Baron talks to the player or Lore directly, with "Hey Buddy" playing in the background. When Lore wakes up, the music continues with Gone in the Night, as he looks around his destroyed room. This could be foreshadowing the story of Heartbound by saying everything past that conversation with Baron is actually a dream. Personally, that's really frustrating, all that work and struggle as nothing more than a dream. And Thor has admitted that Shay and Stijn were both upset at the ending, so it could be plausible. Anyway, let's get back on track by looking at Baron's songs. Baron has 2 themes, Hey Buddy and Baron's Heart. The fun and easy part about these songs are that they follow the exact same melody and chord progression, as shown here. The main difference is the instrumentation, where the first is on the marimba, while the second is played on the vibes and horn. As these songs play at 2 different times, they give a different feeling for each. As Hey Buddy plays while you're listening to Baron, it sounds lighthearted and playful, misleading you to when you wake up and the room's destroyed. The entire truth is revealed after completing the 2nd chapter though, and Baron talks to you again, this time with Baron's heart playing. Not only has lore found part of Baron's essence, but lore has also come from just crying, and the horns themselves sound mournful as Baron's uplifting melody plays on the vibes. It makes the 2 scenes difficult as a dog lover and realize just how much Baron means to lore. But to get away from Baron's sadness, to another sadness in the tower! Now, all the environmental songs follow some sort of common style. For example, the first floor's office dad is bluesy. And the 2nd floor, top floor tango, follows its name as a tango style. The gym on floor 2 is directly influenced by the National Aerobics Championships, as confirmed in an interview with Stijn. We also know this music in the tower is, for the most part, diegetic. Not only has Stijn confirmed this in that many of the instruments are office supplies of some sort, the most obvious being the mechanical keyboard for a computer, but also that Oscar has told Lord in the server room, "Hey, isn't this music groovy?" So these distinct styles of music for every room in the tower, by nature, follow some sort of rules for the song style. For example, blues has a swing to it, while also including a blue note, or the blues scale in general. The structure supports part of the feeling and state of mind that the tower is supposed to induce in the player: order, restriction, and following rules. Even though Oscar tells Lore he's not good at following instructions, and he doesn't follow Joe's advice about whistling near the pool, he doesn't listen even though everyone else is expected to. Floor 0, a secret room containing a vault of information on the workers in the tower, states workers will be repurposed if they aren't following in line. Inky tries to escape this. It's a sad environment, and one could say almost all the songs being in C minor makes it sad by default. But the other thing we want to point out is the theme: forgiveness. Forgiveness often means second chances, or more chances than deserved, but ignoring what's deserved for letting go of grief they inflicted. The memories the artifact shows Lore don't have sound initially, but when confronting the boss, the music follows a variation of a fond memory, as variations on Towering Shadows. These variations on variations could be all those chances to forgive after the boss continually gaslights him into thinking the opposite of what he's done. For Lore, this forgiveness is especially important because the boss is Lore's mom. We know Lore has somewhat blocked her from his life, as the only indication of her presence when wandering around the house is a pile of beer cans next to the TV. But enough of this sadness. Let's look at Animus, where all the friends are! Animus is currently only an explorable area, but we can find some of the characters about in the world in their homes or traveling about. Thor said the final playstyle within Animus will be wandering around, meeting other people within a 3-day time frame. Now, with at least 14 characters in Animus, there won't be enough time to talk to them all. And that's the entire point. As Thor says in this clip.
Because the thing is you could do the same kind of thing in real life. You can manipulate situations with your friends to try and hang out with everybody and make everyone happy. But that's never going to work. You can't make everyone happy all the time. You can't spend all of your time with everyone that you know. You have to pick and choose. That's just how life is. So I kind of want to take that sort of a feeling and put it into this chapter, which is what I've been working on.
Now, how is this reflected in the music? Well, the only music we know that is directly in the environment is the time of day music and the different characters' themes. Each of the songs uses strings, percussive keyboard, or a low woodwind, and those authentic instruments and seemingly lack of waveform manipulation make the environment and characters feel authentic. The importance of time can be compared with the tower. In the tower, the main floor tracks can be divided into different sections, especially depending on the instrumentation, so that you could tell when the song is being looped. In Animus, however, it's significantly less obvious as the motifs and instrumentation stay consistent throughout the track. The music just plays and the time flows that it gets easy to lose track of until the lighting changes from day to night or vice versa. Now, as friends is the heavy topic in Animus, we can take something about different characters' personalities from their written and oral texts. To start, Binder is a guardian, contrast to the Darksider like the Barghest, who is helping Lure through different worlds to help get Baron back. His main theme is Sensible Eyebrows, which is a variation of At the Spine of the World. We can also hear his theme in Binder's Void, which is when Lure meets Binder in the tower, but in a different form. Joe Regular is another character with a distinctive theme, Joe Regular, which has a variation played called Joe Regular but with glasses. The main difference is the instrumentation. In the regular theme, the melody is played by a bass, while the sunglasses version is played on the type of horn. Circe's theme is really neat, as its melody consists of two woodwinds that repeat each other, then play together. I think this shows that she can get along with people. But aside from that, their text sounds also have an effect on how the character is portrayed. Binder's voice is rather electronic with a little reverb. Joe's voice is a percussive strike that sustains and echoes for a bit. And then Circe sounds like it could be a sampled guttural yep. And just with these three specifically, Binder's sing-song melody makes his buzzing voice sound like it's there, but not there. Close, but atmospheric, especially in Binder's Void, where his theme is not immediately recognizable. But as Lore spends more time with the new form and talks with him, he puts it together, and just like with Binder's motif can be heard in the Binder's Void. Joe's music is very down-to-earth, I feel, with the bass leading and the light percussion in the background. This still holds pretty true as Joe wears sunglasses and has the horns playing the motif instead. His voice reflects the environment through the echo of it, as the tower is very open with nowhere to go. And just like the rest of Animus, the authentic instruments for Circe's theme make her theme feel natural and welcoming, accompanied by her almost human voice. There's a lot more to look within Heartbound, from comparing the Mossback's theme to other characters' voices, and even potentially seeing what awaits in Niflheim and Muspelheim from the few songs that are released. And even more to look at when Animus and the entire game is finished. I hope you enjoyed this look at the music of Heartbound. If you enjoyed it, go check out the game. There's a link to the demo in the early access in the description below. I want to thank Stijn again for doing the interview with me, and Thor for giving me some perspective on some of the scenes and clarifying them for me. It's been a fun time, but now I'm going to go back and prepare for the next part of Heartbound's ARG. Have a good one all, and bye.